A warning tonight from a woman who was paralyzed after cosmetic surgery.
She ended up in a wheelchair, and now she's not only taking on the doctor who performed that surgery, but also the center and the post-operation hotel they put her in. Rebecca Lopez reports.
Rolanda Hutton will never walk again.
It's very traumatic. It's like you never think about not being able to walk.
She ended up in a wheelchair after she had a Brazilian butt lift at the Dallas Plastic Surgery Institute.
When I first woke up, they were asking me to move, and I couldn't feel my legs.
We first told you her story back in November 2017. Then she sued the doctor who performed the surgery. But now she and her lawyer have amended the lawsuit to include other doctors who perform surgeries at the Institute and the Cloister, which is a post-operation hotel run by the same doctors who do the surgeries. They send patients there for recovery.
Patients are being sent to this so-called hotel, which is really a skilled nursing facility that's not licensed, not regulated by the state.
Hutton says she spent 2 days at the Cloister and says the staff there should have sent her to a hospital the moment she told them she could not feel her legs.
After the second day, I was like, something's wrong. I need to go to the hospital because I still can't move my legs, and it's been 2 days.
Her lawyer says Hutton isn't the only one who suffered severe consequences. He claims in 2009, a woman died after a facelift while at the Cloister.
This place needs to be regulated or shut down, or you're going to see more people that have been hurt.
Both in 2017 and today, we asked the Dallas Plastic Surgery Institute and its lawyers for comment. They did not respond. As for Hutton, she wants her story to serve as a warning to others of what can happen. Rebecca Lopez, Channel 8 News.
Several years behind bars for the so-called butt doctor who pleaded no contest to injecting toxic substances into the backsides of women, one of whom died. Local 10 News reporter Andrew Perez has more now from Fort Lauderdale with exactly what happened in court today.
I've been found guilty by the media and outside sources based on lies.
She says she's the victim of media attention, and that's why she pled no contest in the death of Shatarka Newby. She won't have to face a jury. O'Neal Morris spoke at her sentencing hearing Monday, reading a letter to Newby's family saying this is all a misunderstanding.
I have never, ever, or would dare ever to inject or have injected any human with any type of unknown substance.
She got 3 kids! Yeah, the mother. No remorse!
Those words, not enough for family and friends of the victim.
So far as I'm concerned, 15 years is not enough.
Some asking the judge to give Morris a life sentence. Authorities say Morris performed a butt injection using a deadly mix of ingredients that led to complications ending in Newby's death. Police say Morris made a business out of performing cut-rate cosmetic procedures using various chemicals like cement or superglue, even Fix-A-Flat, the gunk that's used to seal punctured tires. Several people had come forward to talk about the procedures. Newby's mother is angry. She believes Morris should have taken responsibility.
My daughter died the most inhumane death. 18 months she suffered with not knowing the full of what he put in her body.
Morris insists, however, that none of it's true, so she instead threw herself at the mercy of the court and was sentenced to 10 years in prison and 5 years probation. A transgender woman, she will have to serve her sentence in a male prison. It's also important to point out she was convicted once before for similar crimes involving butt injections. That happened over in Miami-Dade. We're live in Fort Lauderdale tonight. I'm Andrew Perez, Local 10 News.
Unfortunately, this one isn't fake news. Yesterday, the Washington Post reported on a fake doctor who got 10 years in prison for killing a woman with toxic injections into her behind. The Washington Post is referring to the Florida case of O'Neal Ron Morris, who pled no contest to manslaughter and practicing without a license. Over the course of a 3-year period from 2007 to 2011, Morris injected patient Shatarka Newby 10 times with a mixture of cement, mineral oil, bathroom caulking, and Fix-A-Flat tire sealant. In March 2012, Newby died. A medical examiner found the official cause of death to be respiratory failure from massive systemic silicone migration from injections to Newby's buttocks and hips.
Every time I would see someone with the larger butt, I'll always say, "Oh, I'm gonna get me one of those when I make some money." Now, mind you, I had made money. I had been in the beauty industry for 30 years at that time. So I had made plenty of money, but I was also still a little afraid to do it. But what happened was a lady came into my salon and she said that she did butt injections. And I'm like, oh, okay, now that's God. God sent her here to me. No, for real, I'm telling you.
You thought this was going to be the answer to all of these things.
just for what I want.
Right.
I don't ask for much. I just want to, a little more butt so I can, look a little more hot in my clothes,
And you're
I don't
clearly
want much.
naturally a strikingly beautiful woman. I mean, there's not a bad picture you can take. So here you are.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Thank
absolutely.
You.
You're strikingly beautiful, but you say, okay, listen, I want a little this, that. That's fine. This woman, did you know her?
No.
A complete stranger?
Complete stranger.
Had she worked on anyone that you knew?
Not that I knew. She had worked on some people that she knew.
If I wanted to say that, I would have wrote it. I said what I said.
Okay, well.
Let me tell y'all something. The dumbest thing I think I ever did was get this BBL. Let me tell you why. I be trying to throw this motherfucker. This bitch is heavy. If I knew I was going to have to be lifting weights, I would have never got it.
Your natural body shape or your surgery body shape will change the type of man that is attracted to you, at least based on his socioeconomic level. And let me show you. Socioeconomic class actually have to do with the type of man that is attracted to your body and why. Let's figure it out. You have the wealthy class, right? And they typically tend to be attracted to more slender bodies, a physique, a nicer physique, right? The reason they're like that is for a couple of reasons. Number one, a lot of their reputation's on the line. Who they're married to, how that person is moving, how that significant other is, how outside people view them. Everything comes with reputation when it comes to being that wealthy, okay? So essentially, they understand the power more of who their significant other is and how they represent them. Literally. Then of course we get to the biological factors, like a woman with a nice physique and she's skinny. You can actually see the structuring of that, the natural way her body would fall in clothes, etc., right? And it also signals youth to men. We hear it preached all day, every damn day, right? And actually, this one's gonna be hard to accept because when you have a more voluptuous body, it's more overtly sexual, okay? So basically, the man doesn't really get the privilege of like the classy look, or like you act this way publicly, but he knows you in a different way privately. Like that line kind of gets blurred. And it's not anything that somebody who's naturally built like that has like done wrong. It's more so other men can visualize you in a more sexual way a lot easier than they can with somebody that has a petite body, all right? And that's gonna move us over to poor. When it comes to this type of man, you know how there's like being hood rich, right? Let's make it that. So essentially, because this person doesn't have much to show, they're gonna make what they do show gaudy. And so essentially, because that thing is gaudy, it's right in front of your face. You can't ignore it, you can't whatever, right? So essentially that translates to the type of woman that they are attracted to also has more of that upfront in your face, you can't ignore it type of sexuality, all right? Because essentially as they escort you around places, socially, all that other stuff, it's a huge signal to someone else. Look who I am fucking right now. Look who I have access to right now. It's like easy to see. And the last reason that the poor man tends to be attracted to a more voluptuous, overtly sexual body. One, he's not doing much else with his free time when he's outside of work. That's the only way he's making money. That tends to be the only way he's applying himself. So basically with his free time, he's gonna wanna have sex. Bam. Okay, second reason. The woman is doing very much like domestic work in the home, right? That's a strong contribution of hers because he can't afford any type of assistance, even when it comes down to like eating out a certain amount, etc. So for her, when he sees her, outside of that, there's not much that that woman is expected to offer him as far as like uplifting him or moving him to another level. They are in survival mode, literally. I want you to understand that, okay? So because they are in survival mode, the woman basically is offering sex and domestic work to him, okay? So essentially, the more sexual she looks, the more appealing she is to him. because that's one half of basically her value. Middle class, that's kind of like a anything can go type of situation, okay? It's a mixture of enough resources, enough intelligence, and enough ignorance. Essentially for them, they're going to be choosing a partner based off of what they see in media the most, subconsciously, and what kind of reflects their natural desire. Because they don't have too much on the line as far as reputation, but they also have enough resources to care about what person they're getting and how they're reflecting them and stuff like that, but not enough to where they need to be controlling the type of person that they're dating. So at that point, you can just date ideally who you decide. So before you get that BBL, please evaluate. What is this gonna do for me? What is my goal, okay? And I know as women, we be lying to ourselves saying, oh my God, it doesn't matter what men think, blah, 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 blah. But eventually, if you wanna be with somebody, you're gonna have to give a damn what men think. Okay.
Question for anyone who is getting mad at me because I said plastic surgery isn't feminist. Is this what feminism looks like to you? Girls getting their period and going under the knife, getting BBLs in the same decade? Is this what liberation looks like to you? Because I have to be honest with you, this culture, that's the world we're creating. That's the world we're creating. The way you engage with beauty standards is the way the next generation will engage with beauty standards and the one after that. So when do we really get to be liberated from the male gaze? Because right now we've rebranded it as our own. We've said, hey, you're a woman, doing whatever you want is feminism, as if women are inherently feminist, which they're not, and forgotten that our internalized misogyny will last generations and will cause 18-year-olds to feel that BBLs are compulsory because that's all they're seeing. But that's feminism to you?
Can we talk about it? The reason so many young girls are getting BBLs is because they see so many of y'all getting BBLs. It's like the new trend going on today. You see so many celebrities post their BBLs. You see so many girls on TikTok posting their BBLs. Y'all are forgetting that these 18, 19-year-old girls, like, they're very impressionable. They see something trending and they want to hop on that trend too. In that 18-year-old, 19-year-old mindset, your mind isn't fully developed. You're not thinking about the risk. You're not thinking about complications that can go wrong. In that age group, you just want to be accepted and be like everyone else. Not everyone, but a lot of them. I really think we need to just teach our young girls that their worth or their beauty isn't in what they have going on behind them. It's deeper than that. And a lot of these girls don't even do the research when they go to these doctors. I think if we want to change the mindset to where this generation is going, then it starts with us. These girls are following in our footsteps, so we got to set the example of what's really important.
Men are desiring skinnier women instead of...
Have you been, how long have you watched my channel?
For some time.
And every time you see those ridiculously curvy women, they're unmarried.
Some are, some aren't.
No, they're not. They're mostly unmarried. I've already addressed this conversation. I addressed this on the Joe Budden podcast. I addressed this on Vlad TV, and I addressed this on Adam No Jumper. That's for fun. Men don't marry that. So how about this? You notice how every time I said what men are, instead of just saying, I'll go do that. And so why don't you accept this? Men aren't asking women to go get Brazilian butt lifts. We ain't asking for y'all to wear weave. We're not asking for y'all to having long acrylic nails and all these flippy eyelashes. Y'all are doing that for each other. We don't like that.
BBL Confidential. I bet you didn't expect an op-ed piece on this very dangerous cosmetic surgery that has cost so many lives, huh? This is one, if not the most dangerous plastic surgery a woman can get in this day and age. So I decided to cover it from varying degrees, but one thing is absolutely true. These women walk through hell barefoot and back just to have a big ass. Let that sink in, fellas. These women, most economically behind the poverty line, work hard to scrounge up 5 to 10 grand or more to augment their bodies. A lot seek bargain basement alternatives, even knowing the peril and eventual health risks down the line. But they still do it in droves, like salmon swimming upstream during mating season. And for what? A big-ass booty. They scrape up thousands of dollars for cosmetic surgery, the most educated while also being the most evicted and debt-ridden. But having a big ass is more important than having good credit and a roof over your head. As a great man, a godfather once said, you can't make this shit up. The shit is life-threatening, and it's a certified roll of the dice so that you can look like a cartoon ant with a humongous butt over stick-like legs resembling 2 potatoes on sticks. Jennifer Lopez once described her mid-level butt like that when she was filming Selena. By the way, she ended up with a prosthetic ass to match up to the real deal in that movie. I'll bet some of you are wondering why I didn't mention Kim Kardashian. She ain't black, Nuff said. A lot of these women using that salmon analogy scrap up the bare basic funds, go to countries with lax medical rules and doctors with suspect credentials, have this dangerous surgery, and endure a hellacious recovery period with non-certified results that may or may not kill them, all for a big booty. When I consider the scores of black women who regularly have this surgery, it's hard not to be cynical because they, for a very long time, they were considered the standard bearers for these big butts all the way back to the original Hottentot Venus. It's kind of pathetic seeing black women struggle with a self-image they innovated innocuously through genetics. Yet today the sisters are desperate to have the biggest ass. For what exactly? Clout, validation, sexual access to what they consider high-value men. A financial come-up through self-exploitation, that is, prostitution physically, or a myriad number of online options. Is this about a bag like Kiki Palmer said after trashing her simp baby daddy when she gained a little extra dusty cake in the back after childbirth? I suspect it's a little bit of everything. We've seen that BBL recovery takes the patience of Job, and these women are willing to endure indescribable discomfort, pain, and inconvenience just to have a big fake ass. It's that important to these sisters, kind of like the female version of Air Jordans. Self-hate, Stockholm Syndrome, and rampant body dysmorphia ail the supposed black community, particularly its women with no end in sight. The message being that black women want what they want, plain and simple. They are willing to do anything, endure indescribable pain, and crawl through burning rings of fire. All for a big fake ass. But they won't even smile for a black man. Kings, keep your head on a swivel. Protect your bag. And above all else, do not make a fallen woman the steward of your family, the mother of your children. Protect your seed because that is your future, your legacy. SYSBM means save yourself, black men. This has been BBL Confidential, Nuff said Kings.
Okay. This dress is very thin. Okay, I'm gonna start with my boobs. My boobs is at 42. 32.